General Secretary of the People's National Congress Reform and former Home Affairs Minister Oscar Clarke was not mincing words at the headquarters of the African Cultural Development Association, ACDA, in Thomas Lands when he addressed an evening of reflection on the occasion of the 11th anniversary of the assassination of journalist and political activist Ronald Waddell.
Because the story be told, Selwyn Vaughan said he was present because he was a trusted person working on me. He was a lookout. He was everything. He was looking out. He was giving the calls, calling in and saying who they were, who is where and when. Not only did it for Allison, he did it also for Waddell. The same Selwyn Vaughan. He was the person calling in, look out. Oh, and who was he talking to? Roger Khan. So no sooner had he given the word, the killers were there. And these killers were former police officers.
According to Mr. Clarke, the police officers he mentioned had not been the intellectual authors of the assassination of Ronald Waddell.
But who was responsible for organizing all this? The man named Gadraj, a former Minister of Home Affairs in the PPP government. I could say these things openly because they are the truth. This is the truth. Nobody can. All of these people have been investigated, and the truth has been told about each of them, including Mr. Ronald Gadraj, who Bharat Jagdeo told me was one of his best ministers.
Journalist and talk show host Ronald Waddell was gunned down in front of his home on January 30, 2006, during a period when Guyana was troubled by a high number of murders. Mr. Clarke, in a feisty presentation Monday night, said that the PPP might have had their reasons to march out of the parliament when President Granger last addressed the House and reminded the nation of the troubled times Guyana faced.
It hurt. It hurts, particularly this man called Bharat Jagdeo. And today, here is this man parading before us, giving the impression that he's what? I don't know what he is. I know what he was, and he can't change. In my book, he was the same yesterday, today, and will be tomorrow.
The veteran PNC member said too that Guyana was a country of killing squads backed by the then political hierarchy, adding that it was under those circumstances Mr. Waddell lost his life.
I can only tell you that what we have today in government, we better care for it. We better love it, and we better stop bad talking it.
Remarks were also delivered by Mayor of Georgetown, Patricia Chase Green, who called for justice for Mr. Waddell. The parents of the most recently slain activist, Courtney Cromwell, were also in attendance. Exactly 11 years ago, Ronald Waddell was gunned down execution style here in front of his home. While many claim of having knowledge of who killed the political activist, his murder is yet to be solved. Royden James, HGP Nightly News, Sir Brianville, Georgetown.